Okay, so tip number 3, this will be about the dexterity of your fingers and the muscles in your hands. So often when we do the workshops, you see people who have been playing chords for 2 or 3 minutes, sort of doing this and kind of the fingers are aching, and it's perhaps not very natural to keep the fingers in specific positions. And also what you'll find is people not being able to do chord changes smoothly. So that means when you say, you'll get gaps between the chords, which is not what you want. So it would sound a bit like this sometimes when people are at the beginner stage. C. So there's like these gaps while they're moving up their fingers and putting them down, right? And what you want to do is do a nice smooth movement and kind of roll the fingers up and down when you do chord changes. So that was C, G, and F. So let's just do that properly. So you notice there was always some sort of sound coming out of the piano. I do apologize, the harmonium. So yeah, I mean, I learned basic piano when I was a kid, and that made it much easier for me to play the harmonium when I got hold of one later in life when circumstances changed. I didn't really like playing the piano, if I'm honest. I found it a bit boring, but I loved the harmonium and the connection it had to yoga, and that, I guess, made me more motivated to keep playing it. So hopefully you're in the same position in terms of motivation. So where were we? Okay, so how do you not get sore hands? How do you move the fingers smoothly? Well, it's just practice. But there is one thing that you can do, which is a scale. So if you've practiced the piano as a kid or any time in life, you would have done scales. And you can do the same thing on a harmonium. It's not quite so easy for people with giant fat fingers like mine to do scales on a harmonium. Piano keys, full size, are much better for me, but for you ladies and people with small fingers, you'll be fine. But I'll try myself to do a C scale. So I'll also do a video of this after I'm finished talking. Can't have the camera on in 2 places, so not possible to show you while I'm talking. But essentially, you'll start on what is essentially, I guess, middle C, which is a C note, which is, I guess, the place where you normally play on the keyboard. So it would be roughly where your vocal range is. For me, it's here. Right? So a C scale is like this. I hit a few extra notes coming down because of these giant fingers of mine and these tiny little keys on a harmonium, but you get the general idea. So you'll watch the video shortly, but if you want to know, when you change, you go 1, 2, 3. When you get to the middle finger, change over, put the thumb back on the 4th note, and then you do 1, 2, 3 to the ring finger, then change, and then go 1, 2, 3 to the middle finger, and then you change back, your thumb rolls underneath, and then that goes, the little finger will go all the way to the next C up at the top here. No, it's actually that one, isn't it? Yeah, it goes up 2 octaves. Yeah, so it will go up 2 lots of 8 if you do a full scale. But what it will do is it will get used to moving your hands nice and smoothly. There is a science behind scales and maths and blah, 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 but it's not really important with devotional yoga and just playing kirtan and singing, simple mantras. But the scales are very good. If you learn the piano, they get you to do two hands at once, which is quite tough, to be fair, but I'll play it one more time. Change. Ring finger, change. middle finger, change. Up to that top C, 2 octaves up, and down. To the thumb, put the middle finger over. Now you run out of fingers, so ring finger over, and then you put your 3rd finger. And what you would do is go up and down until you're nice and smooth with the actions, all right? So that is playing a scale, all right? So I think that's highly recommended and just good for your fingers and just good to start knowing about things in music theory, because it will only bolster your playing of the harmonium to have some basic music knowledge and how the keys are all laid out and how notes, and all of those things all kind of map together. All right, so that is playing a scale. Best of luck. Okay, so this one is a scale. Okay, so basically a scale is, if you've done any sort of piano before, you'll have done a C scale, all right? So I'll demonstrate it here. Hopefully you can zoom in to see my big fat fingers doing this. Thumb starts. 1, 2, 3, change with a thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, change after the ring finger, and then again a 3rd. And that's a C up there, the very top. And then you go down till you run out of fingers, and then it was 3, the middle finger. Run out of fingers, 4, and then ring the middle finger again. So, just to recap, right? You want to go up from this C to that C, right? You pass this C as well, so there's like 1 octave and then another octave. There's 2, right? So, how do you boogie all the way up there? Well, it's just 1, 2, 3, and then you get to the middle finger, so it's 3, and then you change. 1, 2, 3, change. 1, 2, 3, 4, the ring finger, change. 1, 2, 3, change. 1, 2, 3. And then that will mean you don't run out of fingers, right? Down all the way till you've got nothing more to put. And then you have to cross over, but it's 3 and then 4. It's the 4th finger and then 3 again. Let's do that one more time. There's a scale for every note, all right? So in India, they start on C sharp, strangely enough, but in the West, we start with C. Scales kind of work differently. I don't know a lot about Indian classical music. I know enough to know that I'm frightened by it and won't need to learn it to play simple kirtans. But yes, so if you ever get, if you're ever playing in India and they say things like we're playing in the scale of, it's very different. Yeah, they have a different way of doing it. So at the moment, we don't have to worry about playing with Ravi Shankar or anything, because we're just doing very basic stuff and just starting out. And it's better for, I guess, people in Europe and America to use the Western music theory and music system that's been developed over here, because that's what most people use who are European, and they're the people who'll be whacking stuff on YouTube and things like that. So stick with the European way of doing things. That's the C scale, all right? So best of luck with that, and hopefully you can master it and maybe post a video of your own C scale on the WhatsApp group, all right?